For anyone managing personal finances or the accounts of a small business, accuracy and efficiency are paramount. Manually entering every single transaction can be a tedious and error-prone process, especially if you have a high volume of activity. This is where the ability to import transactions directly into your accounting software becomes a game changer. GnuCash, as a robust and open-source financial accounting program, offers several ways to do this. As an accounting software expert, I often guide users on how to leverage GnuCash's import features to streamline their bookkeeping. While GnuCash might not always feel as plug-and-play as some cloud-based alternatives, its import capabilities are powerful once you understand them. This video will walk you through the primary methods for importing transactions, making it easy for anyone to understand and apply. Why import transactions? Before diving into the how, let's briefly touch on the why. Importing transactions offers several significant benefits. Time-saving eliminates the need for manual data entry, freeing up valuable time. Accuracy reduces human error that can occur during manual input. Completeness ensures that all transactions from your bank or credit card statements are captured. Timeliness allows you to update your books more frequently and keep a real-time pulse on your finances. GnuCash's supported import formats. GnuCash supports several common financial data formats, making it compatible with most banks and financial institutions. The primary formats you'll encounter are OFX, Open Financial Exchange. This is often the preferred format. OFX files contain structured financial data, including transaction dates, descriptions, amounts, and sometimes even categories. Many banks offer direct OFX downloads from their online banking portals. QIF, Quicken Interchange format, an older, simpler format used by some financial institutions. While less robust than OFX, it's still widely supported. CSV, comma-separated values. This is a very flexible text-based format where data is organized into columns separated by commas, or other delimiters like semicolons or tabs. Almost all financial institutions allow you to download transaction data as a CSV. While flexible, importing CSV requires a bit more mapping work in GnuCash. Step-by-step guide to importing transactions. The general process for importing transactions into GnuCash involves a few key steps, regardless of the file format. Step 1. Obtain your transaction file. This is the first and most crucial step. Log in to your online banking portal or credit card account. Look for options to download transactions, export statement, or download activity. When prompted, select the desired date range and choose the format that GnuCash supports, ideally OFX, then QIF, and finally CSV if the others aren't available. Save the file to a location on your computer where you can easily find it. Step 2. Initiate the import in GnuCash. Open your GnuCash file. Go to File, Import, Import OFX/QIF, or File, Import, Import CSV. If you have a CSV file, a dialog box will appear, asking you to browse for your saved transaction file. Select the file and click Open. Step 3. The Import Assistant, where the magic happens. Once you select your file, GnuCash will launch the GnuCash Import Assistant. This is the most critical part of the process, especially for QIF and CSV files, as it helps you map the data correctly. For OFX/QIF files, GnuCash is generally quite good at interpreting OFX and QIF files because they are structured for financial data. The assistant will usually show you a preview of the transactions it found in the file. You'll need to select the GnuCash account that corresponds to the account in the imported file, e.g., your checking account in GnuCash matches your bank account in the OFX file. This is vital for placing transactions in the correct ledger. You might be prompted to confirm currency. Once you've selected the correct GnuCash account, click Forward. For CSV files, this is where the import assistant becomes even more crucial because CSV files are generic and GnuCash needs to know which column represents what data. Choose delimiter. First, you'll need to specify the delimiter, usually a comma, semicolon, or tab, that separates the columns in your CSV file. Header lines indicate if your CSV file has header lines, column titles, that GnuCash should ignore. Column mapping. This is the most important part. For each column in your CSV file, you'll tell GnuCash what type of data it represents. Common mappings include date, the date of the transaction; description, a text description of the transaction, e.g., Starbucks, rent payment; amount, the transaction amount. Be careful with positive/negative signs. GnuCash often expects withdrawals as negative and deposits as positive, but you can usually invert signs if needed during mapping. Some CSVs might have separate columns for debit and credit, which GnuCash can handle by summing them. Number, check number or transaction ID. Balance, the running balance, less common to import, but available. Account mapping. Similar to OFX/QIF, you'll need to select the GnuCash account where these transactions belong. The assistant often allows you to save these mapping settings as a configuration for future imports from the same bank/CSV layout, which is a huge time saver. Step 4. Review and import. After mapping, the import assistant will display all the imported transactions in a temporary window. This is your chance to review each transaction carefully. Account selection. For each transaction, you'll typically need to select the transfer account. This is the other side of the double entry transaction. For example, if you imported a Starbucks transaction from your checking account, the transfer account would be an expenses, food, coffee account. This is the manual categorization step. Duplicate detection. GnuCash has a built-in duplicate detection feature. If a transaction you're importing matches an existing one in your ledger, based on date, amount, and description, GnuCash will flag it as a potential duplicate. You can then choose to skip it, keeping your books clean. Split transactions. For complex transactions that involve multiple categories, e.g., a single purchase at a store that includes both groceries and household items, you can select the transaction and use the split button to break it down into multiple transfer accounts. Once you're satisfied with your review and categorizations, click OK or Import. The button name might vary slightly depending on the GnuCash version.